Our next speaker is a consultant specializing in genetic algorithms, swarm intelligence, and complex systems. Let's have a big round of applause for Theodore Belding.
Hey everybody, is this thing on? So, I'm here to talk to you today about the genetic algorithm, or GA to its friends. It's a computer simulation of evolution. And I want to convince you that it's really cool. It's useful for a lot of applications. But it's simple enough that you can talk to your friends about it at a cocktail party and explain it, or at a night talk. And so, especially if you go to a lot of cocktail parties, I think it's useful to know about. It was actually invented here at the University of Michigan by John Holland. He's still active and teaching at age 81. He invented it back in the 1960s. It's been used for some fun applications. It's been used to generate art, music, video game AI for opponents in video games. It's been used in movies. This is a battle scene from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. And they used a GA to generate a computer-generated stunt that looked realistic as far as the body motions. It's been used for more boring things, making money. It's been used to evolve sort of strong bridge structures. It's been used to evolve the shape of jet turbine blades by GE. It's been used to design assembly line layouts. It's been used to do things like airline routing, bus schedules, FedEx routing, things like that. Circuit layout, computer chips. If you ever think about a computer chip, smaller than an egg gun, you have to fit more and more things on, right? How do you do that? Well, sometimes you think like genetic algorithms. It's been used for data mining, drug design, drug discovery. It's also been used for antenna design. That's an actual antenna designed by NASA using a genetic algorithm for one of their satellites. I'm not sure the satellite is actually built, but the antenna has. So, those are some applications. How does the GA work? And I'm going to try to convince you it's really simple. If you know how to program, you can probably go home and program it up pretty quickly. Otherwise, there's lots of source code online. If you want to go to my website, there's some links if you're interested. So the first thing you have to do is, for whatever problem you have to generate a bunch of random solutions. That's your initial population. In computers, generally, we represent things as bit strings, ones and zeros. So, for instance, if you're involved in the shape of a box, you might represent the length, width, and height of a box. And the ones and zeros we call genes. Next thing you have to be able to do is rate each individual solution, how good it is compared to the others. You have to have some way of doing this. If it's art, you can say, well, I like that one better than that one. Usually I like a computer simulation or a formula to tell you how good they are. Once you do that, you reproduce them and make copies of them depending on how good they are. This is called survival of the fittest. The ones that are better, you make more copies of. The ones that aren't so good, you make less copies of, they tend to die out. Now you have a population of offspring, copies, the children, and you mutate some of them at random. You just pick some ones and zeros and change them, flip them from 0 to 1, 1 to 0. You also do something called crossover or genetic recombination. You might have heard of it. It's called sex. This is where you take one offspring, swap some of its genes with corresponding genes of another offspring. Once you've done this, you have a new population. This population is the next generation. We repeat this over and over again, cycle through these steps until you're done. And what does done mean? Either you run out of time or you find something that you're happy with that's good enough. Those are the steps. And in fact, over time, on average, you tend to get better and better solutions. So those are the steps. That's how it's done. Now I'm going to show you some screenshots of a quick demo. It's based on biologist Richard Dawkins' Biomorphs from his book Blind Watchmaker. And we're going to try to use the GA to match that target shape, evolve that shape. Let's pretend it's some kind of fancy antenna. So it's going to be up in the upper left in red. And the rest of the shapes are going to be our initial population. And we're just going to run the genetic algorithm, go through the steps I talked about. For each of these, we're going to rate them, reproduce them, apply mutation, and crossover over and over again. So we run it. And we run it a couple times, and here's generation 3, and you can see that we're getting some tree shapes. A lot of them have a stalk at the bottom, kind of branches, so we're making a little progress. We're not quite there yet, so we keep on running it, going through those steps, rating them, reproducing them, mutating, and crossover. Generation 5, they're getting bushier, that's good. Keep on running it. Generation 45, we get something that's actually really close, and if we get something that's really close, it'll come up in a minute. A lot of times we'll just see it's almost there, it's not quite the same. We might just stop here, because a lot of times all we want is something that's really good enough, and that's pretty good. But we're going to be really picky and say we have to have an exact match, so we can keep on running the genetic algorithm for another 100 generations or so. And in generation 116, we finally matched the target shape exactly, so we're done. So if you're interested, I have a link to this demo. You can run it at home on my website. I also have links to source code and lots of books and tons of resources at beldingconsulting.com. So, and I tried to cite them appropriately. I probably messed up, but there's some